Hey, what's going on, sweethearts? It is your boy Chamber here with a Destiny 2 review. I'm excited to be bringing this to you guys. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but I told you I'd be back for Destiny 2, so here we go. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is the storyline. This has been the most coherent storyline that Destiny has released so far. Some people like to say that Taken King and Rise of Iron were coherent storylines. They really weren't, in my opinion. I mean, you can understand some of it, but like I said, you just couldn't really understand it. But this time around, you actually understand it. It's a full-blown storyline, roughly maybe 13, 14 hours of gameplay if you strictly just play the storyline itself. But it's understandable, a lot of fun. You get to see Cayde, Zavala, and Ikora fully fleshed out. You get to see them actually see their personalities come out in this game, which is really cool though, because I felt like they were definitely underutilized in the last Destiny games. So this time you really get to see them in their glory. You know, you get to see Ikora as the strong woman that she is, you know, willing to die for her convictions with the Traveler and just willing to fight for what she believes in. You know, you get to see Zavala searching for redemption and looking to restore what he has lost, and Cayde off trying to be the hero and do something stupid and crazy. So you get to see all these characters fleshed out, see their personality, and really see how they even interact with each other and even you. So I just thought that was really cool that you get to see a lot of this stuff in the game. And the next thing I want to talk about now is the weapons. Okay, first of all, weapons feel more balanced than they have been in past Destinies. Definitely using the sidearms, hand cannons, and stuff like that really feel satisfying to shoot. Although I don't really like using the sidearms because they just didn't feel very consistent for me. And hand cannons, they're not as accurate as I would like them to be, but maybe they can fix that later on. Or maybe it's just specific hand cannons just have a certain range and that's what they're doing. But other than that though, they feel really good to use. Also, they've introduced grenade launchers, which I kind of like them and I don't like them. I just don't like the fact that the rounds ricochet, and you know, I just wish I could get, you know, when I shoot them at the ground, they just hit the ground and do splash damage. But for the most part, they're okay. SMGs, a new weapon that they've introduced into Destiny. I'm not saying I like SMGs because I don't. I'm not really an SMG guy. They are very good at what they do. The kinetic ones aren't as good as they could be, but the elemental ones definitely are worth the time to have and use. They destroy tier 1 and even tier 3 enemies sometimes. I mean tier 2, I apologize. Tier 2 and tier 3 enemies. It breaks their shields down pretty fast and melts them. So they're always good to have. If you are going to use an SMG, I recommend using an elemental SMG over a kinetic one. Just for the simple fact, the elemental damage buff definitely shows and does a huge difference when you're in the middle of the fight. Also, they have introduced trace rifles. It's a new exotic rifle that they had introduced in Destiny, and I really like it. It feels good to fire. It's kind of uncontrollable when you fire it, but you know, I think that's the point. And I would like to see more of those type of guns in more Destinies, maybe legendary or even more exotics. I guess we'll see what they do with them. But it was kind of fun to use that gun for a little bit in the game, and I look forward to seeing what they do more. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the Guardian abilities. They are very cool this time around. I really like them. The Titan's abilities are really unique as far as when you're in the middle of a field now, you can throw a shield instead of a bubble shield and waste your supercharge. He can throw shields up now to cover your full body or half of your body, so you can do jump cover with your gun. You can, you know, jump out of cover and shoot now, which is really cool. His abilities are the Sunbreaker, Havoc Strike, and Sentinel. Sentinel is definitely my favorite class. You know, you can definitely act like Captain America and throw a shield, which has always been a fun thing. So I'm really impressed with what they have done with the Titan. The Sunbreaker, I'm really not that huge of a fan of the Sunbreaker class like I used to be back in Destiny Taken King. They kind of nerfed it, and it seems like you're still feeling what they've done in the past nerf with the Sunbreaker class. You know, I feel like you can only get 4 to 5 swings with the hammer. Some people may say that's balanced. I kind of like getting 6 or 7 swings out of it because I feel like you burn through the supercharge fast. But then the Arc Strider class for for the hunter is pretty long. You know, you have it for a good while. So I think they should really fix that and rebalance that for the hunter if they're going to nerf it for the Titan. Also, I like to talk about the Warlock subclass. The Warlock subclasses are pretty cool, you know. He has the new one, which is just like Sunsinger, where he can just throw fire from the air. He can glide in the air, wield a sword, and throw, you know, flaming Hadokens, which are really cool. So a lot of people are going to love that ability. And the Nova Bomb now tracks. So when you're in that Voidwalker subclass and you're throwing out Nova Bombs, which is really cool. The Warlock also has a cool ability where if he's low on health, he can take what he would use to throw his grenade and swallow it and regenerate his shield. So that's really cool. The Warlock's becoming definitely what he should have been. It's definitely the medic slash like real heart and soul of the Destiny thing, and it's nice to see it. Also, the Hunter is pretty beast. I mean, he's always been a hardcore badass, but now they give him the Arc Strider class. I think it's better than his Blade Dancer class. It's basically the same thing, but instead of a blade, you have a pole now, and it's a lot of fun. And his Gunslinger class, instead of 3 shots now, you have 6, which is really cool. So they've definitely innovated, and the Night Stalker class is a really great class. It's always been my favorite because you get the bow and arrow, and I just really like using that subclass. In all, I think the abilities for the Guardians are really cool. And I look forward to seeing if they're going to release new abilities for them as well. Now for my next topic. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is public events and strikes and how they work into Destiny. It seems this time around, instead of, you know, you going into orbit and then going to another planet, you can go straight to your controller and jump into the environment and get into the action much faster than you could in past Destinies. This is much more in tune than it was before with the public events and live events that are now initiated into Destiny. Even finding missions in the storyline campaign were a little bit kind of confusing to me at first, but once I started playing it more, I kind of found it a little bit easier and a lot more fun than it has been, especially when you're trying to do a public event. Instead of like you go to the moon and you're waiting on the public event, you're just waiting there for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, when you could just look on your map and go, oh, there's a public event, let me hurry up and fast travel to there. So them definitely innovating with fast travel now is much better, I have to say. Just a lot of fun and just really easy and very balanced. And it was great to see that Bungie took something little and really innovated it right there for us. Made it much more easier. Also, the patrols and everything are a lot of fun. Although I do find that the public events and all that is getting a little bit more repetitive. I would like to see them add more to it. Although it's the same, it's just the same few public events. And I thought that they were going to give us more than what we wanted as far as that faction goes. So that was also kind of disappointing to see that. And I know they took away like the Grimoire score and everything, but that would have been kind of nice to see. You know, you get grimoires for like, you know, finding all these cool secrets around the maps and everything, like, you know, your ghost would scan something, and that could be kind of cool since they took out finding the dead ghosts and all that in there. And when you're finding all these small little Easter eggs, it would have been neat to see that turn into like a grimoire score or something like that. But they took out grimoire score for some reason, and I personally kind of liked it to learn a little bit more of the lore of Destiny. And it just kind of would have been neat to see that more since this game is big on lore. But doesn't seem like that much anymore. But I also do like the fact that, you know, you don't have to hunt for all the stupid grimoire stuff anymore. So that is cool in that fashion. But like I said, I kind of miss it. Is it really a downside? Not really. I mean, I can get over them not having grimoire cards and little things like that. Although I did really enjoy that within the Destiny lore and in the game. Kind of made it fun having and bumping up your grimoire score. And also some things that I really didn't like about Destiny was how they changed a lot of the things that it's known for. How they turned light from power. You know, that's just one of the things that I really didn't understand, you know, because you lose your light and you go back and you find the Traveler to get your light back. So shouldn't it be you getting your light again instead of them changing it up to power? That's one of the things that I really did not like that they've also changed about Destiny. And they've changed a lot more other things, like the tower now is on the Traveler instead of, you know, it being the tower. that's not making sense to me, because if you're on the Traveler, you're on the actual Traveler. Like, the Traveler's still in the air, although we're not making the Traveler our base, we're still underneath it like we were before. So I don't know why they're changing up little things like that, confusing people more. But it's still a lot of fun nonetheless, and I really enjoy the game. I'm just saying little things like that are really kind of annoying me a little bit about Destiny as far as things like that go. But I will say that this has been a really solid game, and only we can tell as time goes on what Bungie plans to do with Destiny. So far it's really good, but we'll see after a few months into it and when the raid comes out how this game will have the longevity that we want it to be. I'm a huge fan of Destiny, and I really look forward to making this, and I really wanted to make this review just to share my thoughts on what I thought about the game. And my thoughts are that the game is a lot of fun. I think it is really a vast improvement on what was Destiny 1, but will it stand, you know, the dawn of time after a couple of months, once everybody's maxed out their level? Will it be back to the redundancy and repetitiveness that it was once again? I guess we'll see. But for now, I recommend people getting Destiny. It's on sale, it's in stores. Get it. And I'm a huge fan of Bungie, and I really am glad that they made something that I'm actually proud to play. So just keep up the good work, Bungie, and I'll catch you guys next time. And I will be making a review on the PvP side of Destiny real soon. So if you like this video, comment and subscribe, and I will definitely have that video coming out soon. I'm Chamber, and I'll catch you later.
Circuit breaker is going to be around there somewhere. Find it and flip the switch, just like I said. Exemplary work, everyone. But we still have to deal with these intercepted enemy transmissions.